Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be my monthly haul for October. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is a monthly overview of all of the bits I bought in the weeks previously. So this isn't necessarily what I bought in October, of course, because October has only just gotten started. But this is sort of like end of August to midway September, you could say. So let me get to it. Before we get into the video though, hi, my name is Maaike, I live in the Netherlands, I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup. I love trying out eyeshadow palettes, Essence and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup, and I've been a makeup reviewer for more than a decade. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, then I hope you would like to consider subscribing by clicking the button down below. So today I have a lot to chat about in terms of like things I've bought recently that came in the mail. However, I didn't manage to take everything upstairs because some of the products I need to mention I've already filmed with. And I'm of course talking about the new Essence and Catrice products. I'll pop some pictures up on the screen here so you can get a full overview. I have already filmed first impressions with both of the new products from the line, and I'm currently making my way through them as we speak to test them out for you and to see how they wear. I did manage to already do a short as well as a full dedicated review for the Catrice Soft Glam liquid filter, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter dupe. And I'm slowly going to be making my way through these products in October and November to be able to give you the full lowdown and really let you know how I feel about everything. So in case you're wondering what's on my face, it's pretty much a full face of all of the new Catrice stuff. And I've actually managed, I think, save for my concealer and my setting spray, everything is a Catrice product. Even the lipstick. I pulled out one of my original favorite Catrice lipsticks, which sadly you can no longer buy, but it's the, what were they called again? The shade is called Speak Up in the Power something like shiny lipsticks. It was one of my favorites. I used one of these up in the past. It's a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, in case you were wondering what this shade is. So it is a dupe for a more high-end product, but I've always preferred this formula over the Charlotte Tilbury, which is why I bought a new one, and then I've also bought one in backup when I saw they were discontinuing the line. So Power Plumping Gel Lipstick, that's the name of the product. I had a brain fart there for a minute, but I do remember. So yes, the new Essence and Catrice was definitely something I purchased in the time span that we are talking about today. So I think maybe I already mentioned the Catrice products last time because I think I had already done a video with it by the time I filmed my monthly haul. I'm not entirely sure. I think I actually filmed my monthly haul and then I filmed the Catrice videos. I think that went out of order. Even though I posted the Catrice video earlier. But yeah, I did test those new products, and those are products I bought, and yeah, that's content I have already up. If you go to those first impression videos, you'll see all of the swatches and you can see everything going on. It is only a first impression. I am going to be testing everything out, as I already mentioned, and then hopefully end of November, early December, I can come on here and give you the full lowdown after having tried these and really put them through the ringer and really put them to the test to see how they wear. And I can already tell you I'm wearing the Catrice Cream Bronzer, which looks pretty on, I think. But I already had an issue with that. After it had been sitting in a makeup drawer for a couple of weeks, it had hard pan, which has never happened to me with a cream product before. Like, they can dry out for sure, but like actual hard pan, that's never happened because when I like swirled it back together, it was fine. But I've never had a cream product develop hard pan, so that's an interesting notion. So we'll see how it goes when I start using that more often, whether I still like it or not. At the minute, I'm mildly positive about it, so we'll see how it goes. But the thing I need to chat to you about, and this is going to look like a lot of product, but hear me out, is everything that's in here. Not all of it is filled, but this order came in this month finally. So in the summertime, every year, Sydney Grace has what they call a Christmas in July sale. They do a lot of discounts, they do mystery bags, it's a whole shebang. I always stay in tune with their Instagram just for this sale to see what they have going on. And Esther, who also watches my video, was so kind to me to offer to join my order and hers together. So she placed the order for me. It took like 6 weeks for it was even shipped. And then like I think about midway September it actually came to me, because then she shipped products to me, and then she also threw in some other bits for me to try, which was super sweet. So let me get through it. I have already swatched everything. I think by the time you're watching this video, I should have a blog post up with everything that was in the mystery bags. I didn't swatch everything because there were a couple of products that just by looking at it, I knew weren't right for me. So that's why I think I'm just going to put those in a giveaway at some point. And I was like, I'll keep them pristine, so I'm not going to be messing about with those. But I got some powder face products. So I got, in one of the mystery bags, I got a blush, bronzer, and highlighter. This is the blush and the highlight, which is great. And one of the things I really appreciate about Sydney Grace is that they do a lot of products and also their mystery bags in a light and a dark. So they'll have products that are geared more towards light skin tones, and then they also have one that is geared more towards warm skin tones. And that is something I greatly appreciate, but I do have a bit of an issue I have now found, because Sydney Grace doesn't really make a good distinction between cool tones and warm tones. So I've now bought the mystery bags 2 years in a row, and I feel the eyeshadows I get are too warm toned. Yes, they're light, but they're all warm tones. And I prefer a cool tone on myself, so I wish the brand, rather than doing light versus dark, because, you know, depth you can control, because you can blend it with other shades, you can use other brushes. I don't mind deeper shadows as long as they are the right undertone. So if I were to, like if it was 2024 and they're doing the Christmas in July sale again, and they're still only doing light and dark, I'm not sure I would still be inclined to purchase it, because I've done it twice now. And even though I love Sydney Grace's single shadow formula, it's my favorite in the single shadow formula, hands down. No issues there. The quality is just amazing. And their line has a lot of really good cool tones, but I wish for the mystery bags they would do that as well. But that's just me. Oh well. Then this palette actually holds more than just the Sydney Grace things. So please ignore this bottom row, because that's other things. But this is the bronzer that I got in one of the mystery bags. And then all of these shadows. And you can just see it's all pretty warm toned. We get, like, there are some cool tones in this rosy row, which is nice. But this, for instance, it's just a little too warm toned. Then this is pretty warm, and this is pretty warm. And there was some overlap, because Esther actually had a double, I think, of one of the mystery bags. So she sent me that one as well. So I have a couple of these doubles. So when I hit 10K, I want to do a giveaway with some of the makeup bags that I got in the mystery bags, and like fill up the mystery bags that are the makeup bags that these come in that I won't be using myself, and then just have some products in there. So I have already made a selection. So in the black bag, I've already put some products that Esther also sent me. So there are some like Sydney Grace brushes in here and a lip gloss. I got a double for the liquid eyeshadow. She sent me this lip kit from MAC, but I decluttered my Relentlessly Red because I have things by Lisa Eldridge I just like better. Some Sydney Grace shadows and some Glam Shop singles, and a lot of the shades she sent me I already have, so I was like, I don't need to keep those per se. So that's definitely something that I'm going to disperse over several makeup bags, and then like make 3 little makeup kits that you can then get in a giveaway. So make sure that I get the like what 300 new subscribers that I need to get to 10K, and then that will be a giveaway at some point. I hope to like have some Essence and Catrice products in there that I love, some Kiko as well. So I'm sort of like planning ahead, because it can take a few months for me to get to 10K. I'm pretty sure it won't happen until December or so, but I'm sort of already planning ahead with that. Speaking of Glam Shop, she did send me a couple of shades that really appealed to me, and it was these 4. Like these 2 already had. This is a Sydney Grace shade, and this is a Glam Shop shade, but these 4 Esther very kindly sent me as well, and they're Glam Shop shades, and those look like they're right up my street, so can't wait to try those. And then this is everything else. So this one is empty, this one is empty. Let me know what you would like to like me to put in some of these makeup bags when I do hold that giveaway. Like, what are some of the products you'd like to see me include? And I sort of like want to make it like a little favorites and on some of the extra snippets that I have from this. That's sort of the plan, to make that the giveaway. So yeah, I'm going to be using some of these makeup bags to be able to ship that and like make it like cute and nice. That's the plan. And then she also sent me these. So a Coastal Scents empty palette and a Morphe empty palette, which is always helpful. And I don't think... That's a helicopter. And I don't think I have any empty palettes that are this big, which is great because this month I want to do single shadow week and I want to make sure I disperse these Sydney Grace and also some of the new Cliona bits that I bought into other palettes, but I didn't have anything that was larger. And now I think I can use one of these to create my multi-chrome palette with, because I have a bunch of multi-chromes, not just Cliona, and they're currently all fitting into one palette exactly, which is a larger Z palette. But now I bought some extra Cliona bits and now it no longer is going to fit. So I wasn't sure yet how I was going to reorganize it. So these two are going to be super handy for me when I go and reorganize my single shadow collection for you later this month. And then in the gray one, this is the bag I'd like to keep myself. I've put everything else that I got from Sydney Grace. And it's not just what was in the mystery bags. It was the shadows for sure. I mainly got it for that. I got some of the brushes and then a lip gloss, but I also really wanted to own this. It's so cute with the little turtle. This is the Heaven on Earth eyeshadow palette. And as I mentioned, the mystery bags came in a light and a dark, but all of their eyeshadow palettes, I think most of them by now, also come in a light and a dark, which is great. So this, neutrals, greens, and blues. A palette after my heart. If it had a purple in there, I would be even happier, but look at how stunning that looks. I think this is perfect for almost any time of the year, and Sydney Grace, as I already mentioned, eyeshadow quality wise, it is one of my favorites. I prefer their singles over their palettes. I have found, I have a couple of their palettes, mainly the Temptalia collab that they did. I don't find their color stories always that interesting. So with Sydney Grace, I tend to mainly have singles. Most of my single shadow collection that isn't a multi-chrome is most likely going to be Sydney Grace because I just love it. And then Esther told me that she had this double. This is Love's Journey, and she knows me so well. So well. Because look at that. Look at that row of cool tones at the bottom. I can't wait to play with this. And then this neutral row in the middle is also really cool. This is perhaps a little bit more warm tone than I would normally go for, but I especially think that these two palettes together can make for some pretty looks as well. So this is a palette after my heart. The only reason why I wasn't going to pick it up myself is because I have palettes like this a million times over in my collection. So did I need it? No. But Esther, thank you. I think this is going to be one of my favorite neutral palettes I try this year. These are on the to try pile for November because I have plenty of eyeshadow palettes again for October. And there are some palettes I would like to go back to again. So that's why those are sort of on the back burner. I want to make sure I have a little bit of eyeshadow palettes to try every month, 4 or 5 usually. But this month, again, I have 10 to try. So it's been mayhem, especially with the new Essence and Catrice stuff. Essence had a lot of new palettes, and I want to make sure I prioritize those. So I had all of those single shadows in there as well. But then Esther also included this, and I almost wanted to put this on my lips, but I was like, no, I'll show it to you in the haul first before I forget. But she sent me 2 lip products from Pat McGrath, and it's a lip liner and one of the Fetish lipsticks in the shade Divine Rose. And I swatched this. They're minis, but it looks like one of the best creamy lipstick formulas, and both of them look like this peachy, mauvey, nude rose. I think I'm really going to like it. So again, Esther, thank you very much. I'm very, very happy to have these, and the lip liner seems to be a touch deeper than the lipstick, which is something I don't normally do. I'm not a lip liner kind of gal, but for the first time in forever, I found a lip combo that actually appeals to me and that I want to put on my lips. So yeah, if I wasn't trying to do like a full face of Catrice today, then I would have put this on, but I was like, no, I want to keep everything drugstore. So that's why I didn't put it on, but that is very stunning. I just hope that this Pat McGrath lipstick doesn't get the weird wax bloom that some of the other minis I used to have did, because those got bloom really, really quickly. Then, as part of the giveaway, because I had it as a double, is one of the Sydney Grace liquid eyeshadows. And I think someone actually asked me a couple of months ago what I think of the Sydney Grace liquid eyeshadows. This is in the shade Divinity, and it's stunning. The packaging on these is very, very, how should I say that? So it sort of puts you on the right foot, because it's only in the window here on the back that you can see what it actually looks like. The tube doesn't give you any information whatsoever. And this is like a brownie, goldy, taupey mauve. That's the way I can only describe this. It seems stunning. I have kept one of the blue ones that I had last year, but the other shades that I got in my mystery bags then were just incredibly warm toned, and I knew I wasn't going to be wearing them, so that's why I decluttered those. But this is a shade after my heart, so now I can really test the formula. This does set. I've used the other ones in the past to see how it worked, and I liked the formula okay enough, but I wasn't too happy with the shades I had, and this I'm super excited for. And then everything else, and this was the exciting bit, because they said, hey, we're launching cream products, and if you buy the mystery bags, you get to try them. And then Esther had, of course, an extra mystery bag, which she sent me. So I now also have some of the shades that perhaps may not work for me very well, but at least I get to try all the formulas. So what I have are 2 of their cream bronzers. I have the shade Bon Bon, which I believe was in the light bag, but look at how dark it looks. And it looks very orange in a swatch. And then this is Brown Sugar, which came from the deep bag. But I don't feel there's that much of a difference between these two. And they are very warm toned. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm a little nervous for these. They feel, for a cream bronzer, I have to say that they feel more jelly. So they are very thin, which might mean that I can sheer them out really well, and both of them might still work, which is why I've kept both of these for myself, because I think it will just be pretty. And then there were also 3 highlighters. So in the deep bag, I got Soak Up the Sun, which is this gold, which on me is not gonna be a highlighter, but this is a cream shadow. Maybe for something super editorial, because it works more like an eye gloss rather than like a traditional cream eyeshadow, I think. I have Sugar Cookie, which I think is going to be my favorite. This is that like RMS Beauty Living Luminizer with a hint of pink to it. So that looks stunning. And then I have All Is Bright, which I think, well, I will like as well. So Sugar Cookie and All Is Bright are quite similar. This is a bit of a stronger pink. I feel that Sugar Cookie is a little more sheer, has a bit more of a transparent base to it. And then I also have 3 of the cream blushes. So this is my better half, which is the lightest one, which is a bit peachy, but I know I can get away with this, but I especially like shades like this on me in the spring-summer season. And then the ones I'm super excited for are Strawberry Cream and Strawberry Cheesecake. And one of these was again in the deep bag, but these have a bit of a cooler undertone. And this, for the fall time, I think is going to be stunning. And then the other one, I do feel the packaging is a bit flimsy. Like the caps feel pretty cheap with these. And this is a bit more reddish toned. But this again can look really pretty. I actually prefer more intense cream blush shades on myself because it's so easy to sheer them out. And I feel that very often we get in the lighter spectrum of blush shades, everything is very pink or peach, which isn't necessarily what I like to wear. So that's why these I'm super excited for to try them. I've only swatched it so far. It looked very pretty. I was able to stick my fingers in, and thank you so much for Esther for putting in so many other bits. I'm super happy, super chuffed that you were able to do that for me. And as I said, I want to use some of the products I got this round as part of a giveaway. But I do need inspiration on what else to put in a giveaway. So let me know what it is you'd like to see me put in a giveaway. I have ideas for sure. But let me know if there's anything you would like to see me do, because 10K is pretty big. That's a happening. Like if you told me, like when I started my YouTube channel and my blog that 10,000 people would be willing to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would have thought you were crazy. So I want to celebrate when it happens. but I want to plan ahead, you could say, because I want to make sure that when it happens, I'm ready to go and I can like insert it into a video or like make a separate video about it and let everybody know. So just know I'm already planning for it. Let me know what you want to see. So this was part of my, like it came in now, but it was actually stuff I purchased like a lot earlier already. So did it really count towards this? Save for the Essence and Catrice stuff I already showed you, I really only have 2 other things to try, and I thought it wasn't going to be here in time before I sat down to film this video for you, but it did. It actually arrived the other day, and it's my monolith order. So a lot of you have been recommending monolith for me for some time, and I have been on that website and I found quite a lot of things that I found interesting, but I was afraid there would be some sort of catch or anything like that. But a lot of you were guaranteeing to me like, no, Mike, it's going to be fine. They truly are a European retailer that stock all of these US indie brands, and you won't have to pay for custom fees. Their shipping fee is free over 100 euros, so I would recommend that you sort of save up a couple of items in your wish list, wait for them to come back in stock, and then spend over 100 euros, because then you get free shipping. So if you truly don't want to have any shipping and handling fees. The weird thing that happened though with my order is that I never got a shipping notification. I just got a DHL notification that a package was coming, but I never got a shipping notification from the website saying that my products had shipped, which I find strange because this guy was on back order for 2 weeks. So that's why. In case you were wondering why some of the other palettes I said I was gonna buy aren't here, for 2 reasons. Some of it wasn't in stock when I placed the order. Some of it has since come back into stock. So I may still want to place an order soon now that I know how the process works. And things came here just fine, nothing cracked. It was fine. They had wrapped it really nicely. So yay for that. So yeah, I definitely think I will be using monolith again in the future. But yeah, I had a couple of things on my wish list that had just sold out by the time the restock came around, and that's when they stocked this, the Fantasy Cosmetica Fighter palette, and this was the reason why I wanted to shop from there, to try it out and see. And this has also made me realize how monolith works, because one of the things I've also heard a lot of you in my comments tell me is that stock is so limited and things are not restocked very often. But here's how the monolith website works. And this is something I only found out when I started following them on their Instagram. They save up all the product they get in a month, and then once a month they usually announce the date on their Instagram, and that's when everything goes live in one go. So I was sitting behind my computer, I was like, right, I'm gonna try and buy these, but the Chucky palette was out of stock at that moment. The Clarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid was out of stock, and I was therefore thinking, okay, then I'll buy the Smoky Glam from Bella Beauté Bar instead, and this is a little bit more expensive. I was like, I can try it, I'll be fine, and then, you know, we'll get, I'm able to see the process and I can figure out how it works. I still want to get the Blend Bunny Lure. The Chucky palette is still on my wish list over there, as is the Clarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid. The Chucky palette came back into stock, and then the minute I was like, okay, I'm going to place another order, because everything went well, I saw on the website that it had gone out of stock yet again. So I'm gonna have to wait for it to come back, I think. But now that a new Ghostface palette from Glamlight has been announced, and Monolith has already been announced that they are going to get that one as well. So I'm not entirely sure yet. Maybe I want to buy the Ensley Rain palette next that I have been eyeing up on. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. But now that I know how it works, I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for them to have a couple of things back in stock and sort of make my purchases that way. Because now that I know how it works, I've actually expanded my wish list on there just a little bit. Because I saw they also sell Shroud and some other brands that I'm interested in, so yeah, Monolith has been a success for me. But what did I get? As I already mentioned, the Fighter palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. They've already announced a new palette as well, of course. That is coming to Monolith in the launch for October. So the Warlock palette is one that I think I want to get. Now that it's here, it is a little bit more warm tone than I had expected perhaps, but I haven't taken pictures of this yet. I only got it in the other day. After I'm sitting down to film videos today, I want to take pictures of some of the new bits that I got in. But yeah, this looks stunning. I just love what Fantasy Cosmetica does in terms of shimmer. And this only has 4 mattes. And everything else has a shimmer, and their shimmers are usually amazing. This is a deep purple. You can't really see it. And I think that this is really the only thing that makes it warm toned. But because that reddish toned shade is in the middle, that's what your eye is drawn to. But for me, it's like this part of the palette that really intrigues me. So can't wait to try this. I have really enjoyed my Fantasy Cosmetica palette so far. It's why I'm so happy with this brand and why I want to get the Warlock as well. It's one of my favorite indie brands at the minute to be buying palettes from. I love how they're 9-pan. These newer ones are all magnetic, which is also lovely. And they just do an amazing shimmer formula that I think rivals many other indie brands. So why aren't you going back in there? So yeah, the Fighter palette, I haven't yet tried, but I'm very happy I now have this. And then the Smoky Glam from Bella Beauté Bar. So this is more of an expensive palette. It was 75 euros, which is a lot for an eyeshadow palette. But there is justification for it because it just has so many shades. And now that I have it home, I'm like, I'm so glad I picked this up. It is, of course, big. It's larger than my head. I don't love really big palettes because you always just get superfluous shades. But now that I have it home, I'm like, oh, but she's pretty. And I was thinking from what I had seen online that it looked very warm toned. But now that I have it here and I can see it in real life, it's not that warm toned. Like, it's got a green hue over here, and we get some warmer roses here and something a little bit more peachy perhaps, but I don't find it that offensive. I think it can really work. I think like 90% of this palette is cool toned. Yes, it's more expensive, but this way I get to try a new brand again to me because I've never tried Bella Beauté Bar before, and this palette by them is the one that really stands out to me. This is very much up my street. So again, haven't even swatched it yet. This is hot off the press. I only had the package arrive to me like 2 days ago, so I haven't had time to take pictures of it or anything, but I'm super stoked to try it. And then, yeah, again, also try more stuff from Monolith and what they stock. Maybe the next purchase is going to be Ensley Rain Winter Dream palette and then the Blend Bunny Lure. Those are both still in stock, but I'm still a little bit on the fence. I have a couple of returns to do, and that might free up some budget for me to be placing that order. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I don't get it until the end of the month, and by that time things may be out of stock again. Well, we'll see. I'll be fine. Things are not running away and they will come back in stock eventually. So yeah, those are all of the bits I bought. So I hope you enjoyed watching this haul with me today. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos every single week and I hope you'd like to stay tuned for more. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.